Hey guys, Eric Daniels here, aka Eric the Killhound, and this is my review for the 180 round Pinokio Pod. Now, I got these from Pinokio. Pinokio sent them to me for free. They sent me two pods, one clear, one red. I believe they also come in black, OD green, and blue. Don't quote me on those. They sent me these to test them out. Now I've had them since it's about the end of April. Some extensive testing of these. Tested them at Oklahoma D-Day. I tested them every time I went out and played, and these have held up better than my other pods. So at D-Day I broke two view loader pods, had a die lock lid fly off on me. I broke a CP pod, broke Wrap 4 pod, and these got shot to pieces. He's got probably used the most reloads out of these two. I ran these on my tac vest, and the reason that I like these pods so much is they're so rugged. They have an actual texture on the outside. I don't know if you can see that well, but there's like actual, it's almost like sandpaper texture. So really nice grip to the pod. You're not gonna drop it. The lid is nice and crisp. For all you speedball guys that may run die-lock lids or something like that, the lid does pop open very easily. However, it does have kind of a hard shut feeling to it. But I like that because it lets me know, it's shut. I'm not gonna be dropping paint, and stuff like that. Like I said, these pods run 180 rounds. You're talking one pod equals one reload. Okay, so best way to show you guys that is got my old view loader Revio right here, and got one pod full of paint here. The clear one's full of visible impact, scenario grade paint, and just gonna go ahead and close up the lid on this, and as you can see, there really is no gaps in there, nothing like that. And we'll just fill this right back up. Oh, dropped one. And I always do this when I fill my pods, and just give it a little shake. There you go. 180 rounds. If you really pack them, or really count them out, you're probably talking 185, 190. The estimated capacity of a view loader every is, I believe, 185 or something like that. So, and what comes in real handy, if you know how many hoppers your gun will shoot, it's very easily translatable to these pods, because of that one pod equals one reload fact. So let's say you're a scenario guy running an A5 or 98, something like that, and I know my 98 or my A5, I can probably get somewhere in between 600 and 800 rounds, something like that, off of a 20. I've never really counted it out or kept track. I might do a couple efficiency vids or efficiency tests coming up here. Anyways, so, you know, in my tack vest, on my RAV4, I know I can carry 4 pods in the back, and I can carry another 3 50-round pods or grenades in the front. So if I get 600 to 800 rounds, or, you know, maybe more than that, maybe 1,000, you know, could be pushing it with an A5, or with, you know, with a 98, or, you know, maybe an X7 or an X7 Phenom. I know you're gonna get a lot more out of a Phenom, but so let's say I got that. I go out on the field. Maybe I don't fill my hopper right away. Maybe carrying my gun out onto the field without all that extra weight from the paint. You know, be carrying it on my back, and, you know, when I get out there, pour a pod in. Well, now I've got 1 pod in the hopper, almost 200 rounds. The hopper's basically full, and I got 3 more pods still on my back, and maybe my, you know, 3 pods in the front. So if I got almost 800 rounds in my big pods, and I know I can shoot about that out of my 20-ounce CO2 tank that I might be running remote or on the gun, you know, well, I can sit there and say, okay, if I have a paint base or wherever I get paint, and, you know, I don't have to wait a reinsertion point or whatever when I'm just grabbing paint, I have something to defend myself now. Okay, I can run out of paint in my big pods, still have air left, load a 50-round pod or load a couple into the hopper, and I might still have air left. So if you know how many hoppers you can get, you can translate that into Pinokio pods, and you're still going to have a little bit of air left over to defend yourself. If you still have paint, or a friend hands you off paint, or, you know, whatever, you're still going to have something to defend yourself while you might fall back to get more paint or go to a reinsertion point. You know, and let's say it's a game where you can go back to the reinsertion point, and if it's paint that you just have to grab, you can just grab it and go back in. Well, if you get hit on the way back, you have to wait for the reinsertion. So let's say you're making your way back, you get into an ambush, or you get into a firefight, maybe a one-on-one, one-on-two scenario. You have something to defend yourself. You can maybe get out of the situation, get out of there, get paint, and come back and take those guys out, or, you know, paint or air or whatever you need, and you can come back and take those guys out. So if you translate everything with these Pinokio pods, like that's what I'm doing now. I may only have 2, but I know, okay, I have 2 full reloads in my Pinokios alone. If I know how much paint I can get, if I know how much paint I can shoot off, it's very easy for me to translate. Okay, use the smaller pods first, and just count that as a hopper. Throw the Pinokios in, count that as another hopper, and I still have air left. You know, so my review of the Pinokio pods, I really don't think you can get much better on a pod. I saw them at D-Day. They were $3 a piece. I'm not sure if anybody's really selling them online. Pinokio sells them through their site. I think they're 6 for like 25 bucks, something like that. Or yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's like 6. I think it's like half a dozen, your choice of color, for $24.95 or something like that. So my overall review of the Pinokio pods, I give it like a 4.8 out of 5. You know, nice texture to the pod. You're not going to drop it on the field. You know, it's very, very sturdy. Has a nice lid to it. Comes in really handy if you know how much paint and stuff you can shoot off, because it does allow you to, you know, just think, okay, I have 1 reload in this pod alone. I don't have to sit around and flip open. I don't have to put this pod back and be sitting there trying to pull out another pod to still put paint in. I'm full. So anyways, there you go. That's what I have for now. I'm gonna call it a night. I have some CNA orientation in the morning, so